us a few.
How long have you got?
I don't know. You probably have to ask someone else about that. That's ridiculous.
Oh, I've done some stupid things.
Okay, I got it. There's two, but I'll go with this one. Well, there's quite a lot, actually.
Falling through that stage at Port Zealand was pretty stupid. That could have killed me.
So, we were on the cruise to the Edge a few years ago, and we were on one of the stages where they do all the productions and all the shows. And for some reason, while Cruise to the Edge was on, they left all of the costumes, and I don't know why they'd done this, they probably don't do this anymore. They left all of the costumes for all of the kind of pantomime shows and all of the other things just backstage. And I was walking about backstage and I saw this headdress thing. And I thought, that's bonkers. And it was for some kind of prince of something or other. So I put it on and went out on stage and I thought, oh, this will get a laugh. And one of the guys who was there was, unbeknownst to us, who was kind of looking after the place, helping to look after the place, was one of the guys who actually is one of the actors on there when they do their performances. And he went bananas. He went bonkers. He threatened to have me thrown off the ship. I was like, well, I don't think that's up to you, actually. And I can see why he was upset. If somebody had started just messing about with my guitar, I would have been upset. But anyway, so we had to talk him down from that. So that's probably one of the, yeah.
But did you look good in the headdress?
I thought I did. I thought I was rocking it, personally.
I once cut the corner off an Axminster carpet in Hampton Court in a house that I didn't even. Not only did I not even live, well, I did live there, but I wasn't even supposed to be there because the girls who were renting the house had sublet it. Had sublet a room to me to help with the rent. And it had an Axminster carpet, which was quite expensive, and I cut the corner off it with a Stanley knife.
I did a Christian tour once, and mid-concert I went on stage, very serious gig actually, but I went on the stage in a dress and full makeup and swept the stage, and didn't go down that well.
Trying to get into Poland without a passport, getting arrested, thrown in a cell for a day, middle of November, frozen stiff. That wasn't a good idea.
Just after I joined the band, there was this kind of like event. It was kind of like slightly hippie kind of days, really, for the band. And there was like this live event in this folly, these ruins of a folly just outside of Aylesbury. And there was this band who was playing, who were kind of like jazz rockers. They were great musicians and playing stuff that I had no understanding of. You know, I'd only just moved down like a couple of months beforehand. Anyway, they insisted that I go up and jammed with them. And it was just like, yeah, no, that's not what I do. You know, I tried, but I just like, yeah, it's like a different language. So that was pretty ridiculous, I can tell you. But that's about the only thing I can think of.
Rick Armstrong always says that I'm the only person he knows who ever walked. There's a street in Cincinnati that you don't go down it because you get murdered, and I did. Because I came out, I got it into my head to go to Cincinnati on a tour on the train. I don't know how I ended up on the train and not on the bus, but I went on the train and decided it'd be easier on the train. And when I got outside the station, I noticed the name of the road was the same as the name of the road the show was on. So I thought, oh well, I'll just walk. But this is a sort of like 8 mile long road. and it goes through all of these dodgy neighbourhoods. So it starts, you're in one area and you slowly walk out of that into another and into another, and then you get into an area where, you know, people are out on the stoop and there's washing machines in the street, and you know, and junkyard dogs and people who, you know, normally are in the habit of shooting people if they don't know them. And I went through all of that to get to this gig called Bogarts in Cincinnati, and Rick couldn't believe it.
There's too many to name.
On top of a girl, like a tree in a hotel, falling towards something out of control, unable to miss like a man.
I think it might be lemons.
Coriander.
Jasmine, lavender. Has to be real and fresh, not out of a bottle.
Well, it's probably, is it coffee? It's either coffee or bread, isn't it? It's got to be one of them. I love cinnamon, mind you, as well.
Cooking bacon.
Bacon. I'm going to go with bacon. It's just come to me. Because, like, well, you can always resist the others, can't you? But when someone's cooking bacon, I have to eat bacon.
The skin of newborn babies, not necessarily brand newborn, you know, once they've been powdered down.
We did it without knowing. We didn't feel a thing. He just wrecked it and cared.
Show my age now, but I really like. I like Cat Stevens' Tea for the Tillerman. I think that's just a fabulous album. And Rumours, Fleetwood Mac.
I don't know. La Boheme by Puccini. No, it's not. It's not. It's by. Still.
Should I Google it?
Yeah. No, it's. Why did I say Puccini? It's not Puccini. It's. Oh God, another Italian composer. Oh come on.
Along the Red Ledge by Daryl Hall and John Oates.
You'll have to edit this, won't you?
No, this is good stuff.
Are you going to Google it?
La Boheme.
The Alt J album, actually, that I shared a track from, what's it called? Awesome Wave or something? Anyway, I think it's the first Alt J album, which is a very different kind of music to Marillion, you know, quite modern. But for me, it has whatever you want to call progressive music as a definition. It has that, but just not in that traditional kind of way. Intelligent music arrangements, great melodies.
Hang on. It's not really an album anyway, it's an opera. Puccini, it is Puccini. There you go, I was right.
Oh, it's an album called What the Dickens by Johnny Dankworth, or John Dankworth, as he liked to be known later in life. And it is, so it's his orchestra. Now, his orchestra is probably most famous for doing the Tomorrow's World theme tune in the 70s or 60s, maybe. So it's that kind of 60s jazz, but it's all based around all the themes. It's quite progressive in its way because all the themes are based on Dickens' characters.
The space around the stars is something that you know. A billion miles of darkness left you feeling low. The space.
Oh man, it takes a lot.
Oh my goodness me. It's a mini dress and stockings and high heel shoes. And if that's not bad enough, I went out in it in New York City and went to Trax nightclub.
I'm not sure anything that's not black really.
I was with I was with the band I was in at the time, and we were staying with a couple of stewardesses and a steward, and they persuaded us to dress up and go to this nightclub with them. What do you do, eh? You can't say no, can you?
If anyone's seen those early Marillion photos of the outfits we wore, I don't know whose idea it was. Anyway, we had these things made, almost like robes, monks' robes. And the first gig we used them at Friars, actually. We had all these props from that when they closed down the Hammer Film Studios, Fish and someone went down and bought lots of these props they were getting rid of. So we had like gravestones and crosses and all this Gothic rubbish. But anyway, so we were wearing these things, and there were lights behind us on the floor, and the lights came on, and I looked across to Diz, the bass player, and realised I could see straight through his robe. You know, almost like he wasn't wearing it. And I thought, well, if I can do that to you, then all the audience can do that to me. So it's like, here I am in my underwear. That was pretty ridiculous.
There was this sort of black and white quilted jacket that I wore for the Assassin video, and also subsequently on stage a few times. And in fact, on the Fugazi reissue, I think I'm wearing it at that gig in Zurich. And then about 2 weeks after I'd stopped wearing it, I saw this group of women dancers, and one of them was wearing the same jacket. So I realised either she's wearing a man's jacket, or, much worse than that,
The most embarrassing thing I've ever worn. I've been proud of everything I've ever worn.
Which is a good enough answer.
I'm not saying I should have been.
Starting work again tomorrow, actually. Moving forward with the Marillion album, and being in a band again.
I think what most people are looking forward to, the end of lockdown.
Oh, getting out of this lockdown, I think. The end of COVID, or the end of it being a pandemic that we can't get out of. If it's going to be something that stays with us for a long time, then we've got to find a way to deal with it and work with it, like flu, for example.
Being free again. Everybody being free again. It's not really about me. Everybody being free again.
Really looking forward to, same as most musicians, just being able to, go to the theatre, go and see some bands playing, be in a band on stage at a gig, having a great time, and seeing an audience in front of us. That's probably it for me at the moment.
Thanks for watching Marillion's official YouTube channel.
Remember to like this video.
Subscribe to the channel.
And hit the notification thingamajig.
So you're the first to know when we upload new content.